But a long time ago, it started with just check fraud, and that was the beginning. TJ Maxx was probably the largest breach that we have seen that we're aware of. About 45 million credit cards were stolen or compromised from their database. As you know, your Social Security number is a digital imprint that stays with you for the rest of your life. And when that information is into the hands of one person, that one person can turn around and provide that information to 20 other people. Those 20 people can provide that information to another 20 people. So once you become a victim of identity theft, you potentially are a potential victim for identity theft the rest of your life. One thing I would always caution you on is getting a new computer. When you have a computer and you dispose of it, make sure that you get it professionally cleaned. And when I say that, because there's a digital imprint on that computer that you can't just go to your files and hit delete and think it's gone. It is a permanent fixture. So hackers have their own marketplace for sharing and buying and trading information that they've compromised from us. These chat rooms exist on what they call internet relay chat rooms, and they're on servers being outside this country. So you can protect yourself by decreasing your digital imprint on the internet and protecting yourself that way. You can also prevent it, help prevent by monitoring your credit report, making sure that not just monitoring, but have some sort of credit monitoring to notify you if something hits your credit report. This new account fraud takes about 140 days to be detected, and it requires about 180 days to be resolved. This would be stopped if you had a credit monitoring service. Credit monitoring service is where a service that would notify you if something hit your credit report negatively or positively. Facebook is a networking site where you put what on there? Pictures of yourself. You put on there your date of birth because you want your friends to tell you happy birthday. You also have your name on there and what city you live in. What are identity thieves looking for? They're looking for where you live at. They're looking for your Social Security number, which you're not putting on there. And sometimes we can put our cell phone number on there. So there's a lot of personal information you just need to be aware of when you're putting it on Facebook, making sure you get the right privacy on Facebook so that not everyone can see that information, but more importantly, protect your children as well, because children are on Facebook, even though they're not supposed to be, and they're putting out that information. So identity thieves are going to try to build a mosaic on you. They can get your name and address on a lot of these websites, yellowpages.com and Switchboard, whitepages.com. Right here, they can actually zoom in on this one. It's called Zillow. They can actually get the value of your home. From this value of your home, they can almost guess what your house note is, potentially. Why is that important? Because when you go to order a credit report, a lot of times they ask you, what is your house note? As a security question. And your credit union has pamphlets on how to get a free credit report. So you make sure you get that information, and I would encourage you to pull a credit report at least once a quarter, the ones that are free. And then of course, if you do have a service that has credit report monitoring that will notify you if something hits your credit report, I think that's the most effective thing you can do in terms of protecting yourself. Because if someone opens up a loan in your name, how are you going to know? My theory is, if a thief wants to break into your house, I don't care how good the security system is, they're going to find a way in. So it's always important to have protection on the back end in case you have been a victim. So I would encourage you to make sure that any insurance product you have pays for legal fees, because that's going to be your majority of the cost that you're going to have to repair and restore your identity. And the other part is making sure that you have lost wages. So if you have to take off time from work, make sure that the policy pays for lost wages and at least pay for legal fees. If it doesn't pay for legal fees, it's probably not a good product. Identity theft insurance will only help pay for you to restore your identity if it's been compromised. And that's the difference between card theft and identity theft. Card theft is now morphing into identity theft. Once they get your card, they're going to try to get more information on you. And a lot of times on these breaches that you see, we had one of our largest breaches, and I know the credit union's aware of this, in November of 2010. Heartland, which is our largest payment processor in America, had a breach. For about 9 months, it was determined hackers had all these cards, and they were basically buying and selling and trading this data. That's what they like to do first. Like when you go to a restaurant and you give your debit card to pay for a meal, once that card leaves your hand, anything can happen. And I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm making sure you're aware of that. Your card goes to someone else, don't let it leave your hand. I know in Rhode Island, Legal Seafood is a place that I've eaten at, and they actually bring in portable devices, and they give it to you and make you scan your card right there in front of them. They won't even let, the servers won't even take it.